What's up, guys? Hey, it's Kevin from the Potency Project, and we are going to go through our first episode of our segment where we go through Reddit and we answer questions. We give you my opinion, my comments on just threads that are out there. So let's get into our first episode. Today we're going to be talking about mainly fitness stuff, but on this channel you're going to get things about fitness, you're going to get things about mental health, you're going to get things about spirituality. Okay, let's just get into it. We're going to answer some questions about fitness, things that people have put on Reddit and they have questions about. And we'll read the question, we'll read some comments, and then we'll get into my opinion, what I think about it. Okay, let's get into the first one here. So, Slim, this is the subreddit XX Fitness. The subject is slim but with a lot of belly fat. Fitness tips question mark. I'll read a bit of it. I recently started going to the gym. I'm currently recovering from post-concussion syndrome, so my training schedule is focused on regaining energy and stamina. Since I haven't been able to physically be active for a couple of months, training consists out of basic muscle training and walking on a treadmill. However, once I'm recovered, I want to focus on something else. I'm 5'7", 170, 1.70, whatever that means, and usually weigh in about 125 pounds, 57 kilograms. I have no idea about kilograms. Obviously is 125 pounds to 132 pounds, 60 kilograms. Currently, I gained some weight because of the accident I had, so I weigh 141 at the moment. But they usually weigh 125, 132. But they weigh 141 now. No matter what weight I am, even when I was underweight as a teen, I have excessive amount of belly fat. I'm Eurasian with a thin frame, so my shoulders, blah, blah, blah. My belly is so disproportionate, it looks weird, and I've been asked if I was pregnant on many occasions. Most of the fat is located under my belly button, like a big bump. Besides eating the right foods, what can I do at the gym to work on decreasing my belly fat? Is there anyone here who's had a similar issue? When I Googled it, it was referred to as skinny fat. Okay, let's see what people had to say about it. So, first person said if it's fat, all you can do is lower your body fat percentage. If it's bloating, which will be the case if it goes up and down a lot, or you notice it is more at certain times, then you might need to look into whether your diet, you have sensitivities in your diet. Refined sugar and hormone bloating makes hormone bloating worse. Okay, so let's just get into what I think about this situation. So when it comes to the stomach, the lower belly specifically, but just the stomach in general, upper abs, middle abs, lower abs, below the belly button, right at the belly button above it, and then slightly higher, right below the ribs. This area is super complicated because there's so many muscles involved. Of course, everybody kind of knows these muscles, but you have the external obliques and the internal obliques. So you got these things on the sides. Then you got the rectus abdominis, which is like the six-pack. So you got upper, middle, and lower abs. And then you have that like very underlying thing that's called the transversus abdominis. And so that's that thin sheet. What do the abs do? What's their big function? Like, should we keep it tight all the time? Should we keep it relaxed all the time? When should we engage it? What's going on in that situation? That's kind of like the underlying question here that this person doesn't know that they're asking. So they have a ton of belly fat and they've had this belly fat for a really long time. Generally, this person is not doing anything to engage their stomach on a regular basis. So surprisingly, your stomach should be engaged pretty much all the time. Not engaged where you're just sucking it in like ridiculous and you can't breathe, you're just sucking it in. But it should be activated. So this person is just missing some information. Really quickly, you need to suck down on your external obliques. That is going to pull your rib cage down. and then you are going to tuck your pelvis under, and that is going to help engage your lower abs. Just those two things right away will completely change the way your stomach looks. Suck down and in on these external obliques, tuck your pelvis under, hold that, and it's a life changer just there. Now there's more to it than just that, but that's like an incredible starting point. That'll almost get rid of your skinny fat stuff just right then. Now, you want to do this pretty much all the time. So as you're sitting here, you're sucking down on your ribs. Your pelvis is tucked under, not a ton, but it's generally tucked under. It's not totally like you're arching your butt. If you're standing and walking around, you want to be like that. If you're bending over, you want to be like that. So this is really an engagement of muscles issue here, more than anything. Food does get involved, but when you do have activation of these muscles, it helps your digestion. So when you just let your stomach loose, and like let's say you eat a lot, and then all of a sudden like your stomach like bloats out. Well, if you kind of sucked it in and everything, that would help the food digest. But your stomach's already relaxed, and then you eat, and then your stomach gets bulged out even more, and then you feel that, and you get used to that, and your stomach just kind of stays out there like that. So this person is probably really used to just letting their stomach go and not activating it at all. So, what was their question? I've had they said, has anybody had similar issues? I have totally had similar issues. I've been called skinny fat. My lower belly has pudged out. I really thought it was because I needed to kind of suck it in and tuck my pelvis under, but the big change for me was when I started sucking down on my external obliques. That really helped a lot. Engagement problem. Mr. Aristotle's rocks. You have an activation problem. And probably a little bit of a digestive issue from not engaging your stomach muscles. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments about what I said. Ask me any questions about that so I can answer it maybe on a future video. Alright guys, let's get into the next one. Same subreddit, XX Fitness. The subject is lack total core strength. So, I've been getting into working out a lot more for the past 6 months or so. I lack a lot of core strength though, and it leads to my back hurting when doing ab workouts and hurting more after doing other exercises. Does anyone have any advice on how to improve my strength so I don't seriously injure myself? Let's get into this here. Somebody says get into yoga, helps immensely. Check your form. Try Pilates. If your back is hurting, it means that your form is off, so more about form. Stretch out, foam roll. Pay attention to your back during the exercises. I recommend starting with easier ab exercises while you're building up strength. Those are all pretty good. So let's get back to what this person's question is. Does anyone have advice on how to improve my strength so I don't seriously injure myself? I definitely agree with one of these people who said, start with easier ab exercises. That's probably the answer here. This person probably doesn't have the strength to do more advanced core exercises, and usually people are doing core exercises that are way too advanced, like hanging leg raises or V-ups, and they're just starting core exercises. They're like, hey, I'm gonna do some core exercises, and they're gonna do those. And it's like, what? Like, those are ridiculously advanced core exercises. You wanna start with activation of your stomach muscles. You wanna learn how to activate them. This looks like this episode is on core, this first episode. So learn how to activate the muscles, figure out what each muscle does, because each muscle does something different. The obliques do something different, The rectus abdominis, the six pack does something different, and the transverse abdominis does something different. Your lower back does something different. The pelvic position is important. Your lats are important. Your hip flexors are important. Starting out easier is the answer here for sure. This person needs to definitely focus on pelvic position, isolating the abs, the core muscles from the hip flexors. Let's go back to what they said. I lack a lot of core strength, and it hurts my back when I'm doing ab workouts and hurting more after I do other exercises. This person is potentially just lacking the right pelvic positions per the right exercise. This person probably has no idea that when you're doing core exercises, you generally want your pelvis tucked under, where you have more of a rounded back. And then this person might be doing squats or doing some kind of other exercises, deadlifts, and they aren't paying attention to the pelvic position that they should have there, which is more of like an arched lower back. So one pelvic position is tucked, and that's for the core. One is arched, and that's for bending over or doing anything like that. I assume if this person is just lifting normal weights and standing up, you don't have to really focus on too much of a pelvic position. Probably pelvic position, and starting with easier exercises is going to fix this guy right up. And then I touched on a little bit some other stuff there of hip flexors, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into the next one. Let's see if we can get something else than just core, but who knows? We'll see what happens. All right, this is an interesting one. So this is a little bit different than the core ones that we've been doing so far. This is just from the subreddit Fit. Subject is forced break from gym after car accident. So, due to a car accident, I was forced to take 3 months off the gym. 3 weeks ago, I was finally cleared to get back into the gym. I took it slow at first and have been slowly increasing my intensity and weight. I haven't changed my eating habits much, except increase the protein and cut the carbs a bit. When I first returned to the gym, I weighed 232 pounds. 3 weeks later, I'm sitting at 243 pounds. So 10-pound weight gain. My waist, hip, and chest measurements haven't changed, but my arms did gain 1 inch, and my shoulders gained 1.5 inches. I know after taking a break and starting again, it's expected to gain some weight back due to blood volume and water in the muscles, but is 11 pounds excessive? Just trying to understand the weight gain. Also, before the accident, when I was 240 pounds, I was 21% body fat, and I'm 5'11". So he was 240, 21% body fat. 21% body fat's it's not huge, but it's a lot. But for 240, I mean, that's kind of expected a little bit because that's pretty heavy. And he's only 5'11". I mean, 5'11" is pretty tall, but I'm 5'10", and he's 5'11". He's 240, and I'm about 155. So almost 100 pounds difference. He's not so tall that he should be 240. So that's definitely a bit overweight. Surprisingly, not the craziest overweight body fat, but 21% is pretty decently high. We'd probably like to see that as like 15 or less. He's always been like 240. He dropped weight 232, and now he's back at 243. So he's just kind of back at his normal weight almost. Somebody commented, could be a similar version of newbie gains coming in, definite water retention. Probably not a total clear answer here. He got into a car accident, quit working out, and then started working out again. Really, this person isn't probably really focusing on diet at all. So it's probably just like, generally this person's kind of a heavier person, eating a lot. So that's probably the answer here. That's kind of what's going on. It seems to me he gained an inch in his biceps and an inch in his shoulders. That's a lot. So besides maybe just overeating a little bit, he's just gained muscle, and that's the other answer here. So probably not really water retention, whatever else he said here, blood volume and all that stuff. You gained an inch on your biceps and an inch and a half on your shoulders. You just gained muscle, and that's gonna deal with the whole 11-pound weight gain / you eating slightly more, because whenever you're really working out hard to gain an inch on your biceps, you're going to be consuming a little bit more food. You're going to be more hungry because that means you're working like super hard in the gym and you're going to be eating more too. And this person obviously doesn't care too much about what they eat. No offense. This stuff is slightly confusing. You know, people are posting this stuff, so they're like, this is a situation in my life that I have a question about. I'm confused. I don't know how this is working. So I'm posting it to see if anybody has a comment on it, because I've Googled it and I can't find anything. So here's my little advice. I kind of see it a little bit clearly because this is something I do. I understand how the body works. It's pretty clear that this person just gained some muscle, but they're getting slightly confused and say, hey, where's this weight gain coming from? Is it water weight? What's going on? No, you just gained muscle and you're probably eating your normal diet, which is why you weigh the same as you've always done, even though you lost 10 pounds before the accident or something like that. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Absolute beginner steps and progression. Ooh, okay. So same subreddit, fit. Last one here. It's getting a bit lengthy, but who knows? These videos will be like 15 minutes long, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Absolute beginner steps and progression. I'm going to be that guy asking the questions we've answered 1,000 times for a moment here. Bear with me. Okay. I used to be highly active as a kid. I was on a swim team, and when I was out of the water, I'd run everywhere. That's all came to a screeching halt at age 12 due to a combination of life circumstances throwing me into a deep, dark depression. Yay, that I'm only now 14 years later, even acknowledging and crawling my way out of it. Okay, so this started at, he was highly active. And then at 12, he stopped. Okay. My two biggest hurdles are the mental illness thing. I get discouraged easily, and I have an intense paranoia that I'll overwork and give myself a heart attack, which honestly I could chip away at if not for thing two, the fact that beginners' guides to exercise on the internet don't tend to be actually helpful. Okay. Usually what I find are a list of exercises with no instructions on the way to do them correctly without getting hurt. No guidelines for how much of the thing I should be doing, and no hints about the speed at which I should increase the amount of thing. Okay. I decided a long time ago that if I focus on losing weight, I'll get depressed and stop. So instead, I went to have a goal of just becoming more healthy through exercise. I guess I'm asking, what's some stuff I can do to build tolerance and good habits so I don't immediately quit? What's considered a good length of time to work out for? How often? And what do you do in between? Save me, internet. Okay, hold fast, Wolf 1. Let's see what anyone has to say about this. Somebody asked the question, how often do you work? Okay, I don't see a lot in the comments about anything too good, so I'm just going to answer this myself. He asked a few questions at the end. So he says that he can't find anything with proper instructions for beginners. That's kind of crazy because there's an incredible amount of stuff on the internet, just on YouTube. There's so many fitness channels that you can follow along with, and they'll tell you exactly what to do. So that's kind of bullshit. You know, there's tons of online programs that he could probably buy, and they would probably tell him exactly what to do as well. He probably just hasn't researched enough and really looked into it. Besides that, he could not go the online route, and he could go to, you know, go to the gym and start getting to know some personal trainers, you know, just chatting with them, getting some ideas. Just because, you know, the personal trainers are generally standing around if they don't have a client, and they want to talk to you. They want to talk to people because they're just standing around like bored, and talking makes time go faster, and then like if they have a manager or something, it makes them look good that they're talking to people around the gym and being friendly. So you can just kind of pick the personal trainer's brains, different ones, you know, and say, hey, I'm just beginning. Can you show me how this works here? How should I start? And they'll give you tips. And then, hey, next time you come to the gym, ask a different one. And then ask a different one. You know, you don't even have to buy personal training. That's kind of a good way to start. Otherwise, do a little bit more research and go on YouTube because there's a ridiculous amount of information on fitness. It's outrageous, including this channel. Let's get to some of these questions. This person wants to figure out how to, like, what to start doing so he doesn't stop, like, immediately. Well, this person has acknowledged one of my biggest hurdles are mental illness. So mental illness is the thing that he's dealing with. So really you gotta tackle that, because let's say, so what is going on with mental illness or mental health is you have two conflicting things. You don't want to work out and you want to work out. So what's gonna happen here? Nothing's gonna happen. So when you have two conflicting internal drives, they're just gonna conflict and nothing's gonna happen. So you need to get what we call mono-motivated. You need to get rid of this thing that's contradictory. You need to get rid of the I don't want to work out, or I have, hey guys, sorry about that, camera cut off. So this is kind of where I'm ending the video. On that last little bit, you need to get mono-motivated. You need to get rid of the contradictory thing that's popping in there, because if you don't want to work out and you want to work out, you're not going to work out. This channel deals with mental health as well, so check out all of my social media for little tips on mental health, but otherwise just comment or, you know, DM me or email me, and you might need some one-on-one coaching to help get over some of your mental health issues, and I can definitely help with that. This person also asked about what should you do in between sets? What should you do on days off? So you should do nothing in between sets. You should take about a minute to a minute and a half break. Try to keep good posture in between sets. Don't stand all on one leg. Don't hunch over and look at your phone. And then on days off, if you're just normally working out, you should foam roll or something like that. If you're doing what I said here, I don't remember if the camera cut off or not, you should foam roll generally to start working out. So you should foam roll instead of doing anything, maybe foam roll 2 to 3 times a week just to get started. And if you're just foam rolling as you're starting working out, then do nothing on your days off, or go for a walk or do some kind of activity that you enjoy that's kind of fun, like co-ed soccer, co-ed volleyball, or whatever. You want to go hiking, something like that. In general, you should just kind of foam roll to start working out. That's definitely my recommendation. Don't worry about body weight exercises. Don't worry about lifting weights. Just start foam rolling. Look for tutorials on the internet. There's tons. I have tutorials about how to foam roll. Mine are the best, so check those out. I'll give you every way to do it. That's just a little plug there. Anyways, the camera cut off, that sucks, but I kind of ended it kind of quickly here as well with what I was talking about before. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you like this segment. I'm going to go through different places on the internet where people post things, and I'm going to read their posts and read their comments and answer their questions, give you my opinion on it. But also I'd like to do a different segment where you guys ask me questions, and that'll be a totally different segment. So ask Kevin, ask the Potency Project. That'll be the next segment besides this one. If you're looking for some one-on-one coaching, just email me, DM me, go on Instagram and find me. I hope you guys like this video. Comment question below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.